right, another investigation. Now, you might have seen this one in the news, right? About Labour's immigration white paper. And straight away, they're talking about a white paper. It's a piss take. It's again something to do with the Kalergi plan, the EU and all this, right? So, a white paper that they would basically, the white peoples, right? Because we know the ultimate plan is to extinct, the white race, after totally subjugating them or something in their own lands. With all this immigration and different things, right? But the idea of a white paper, again, total piss take, when you're applying it to immigration stuff. You know what I mean? Straight away. White paper, And of course, the man in the future will be race mixed. Miscegenation and mass immigration. Basically, that's what they're in the process of doing now. Count Kalergi's ambitious plan to unite Europe and Africa. Again, even when you have this, right? As I pointed out in one of the videos, the general idea what people have is that the white ones are going to be race mixed with African peoples. Again, this doesn't take into consideration the Indian type immigrants, who are obviously the biggest amount, right? The massivest amount in the worldwide immigration and importations is Indians. Them people, Pakistani, Palestinian, Saudi Arabian, Indian coast or whatever you call it, Indian continent. All the same peoples, right? And they're obviously on the move through the world, right? And so basically, when you're talking about this Kalergi plan, as I sort of pointed out in our one, it seems that the ultimate objective is to mix race the Indian ones with the African ones, right? So basically, by the stage to get to that, the white ones would have been basically essentially eliminated, they'll be gone, they won't even exist type of thing, There's a few theories about this, obviously, right? I mean, if that's correct, that's the atrocious type of thing, because obviously white European people are the minority on the world, right? Europe is the smallest continent, and the European peoples are the total minority, so if they become actually minority in their own continent, I mean, that's basically it, guarantees extinction, over, say, 120 years or something, it absolutely guarantees extinction. And that's obviously what they've been trying to do. It's all these type ideas about white paper for stop immigration and all this. If they've already got in the amount what they need to achieve that specific target, which is extinction and elimination of whites, over 100 or so years, right? Then obviously they can stop now. They can just say, well, we're going to stop it all and all this, and appear to get tough and all the rest. But if they've got the numbers in, it's done. It's done. It's already gonna sort of plan out, isn't it? It's gonna ahead in the way of what they've planned. Because obviously the other aspect of it is the sort of gay, homosexual and drag queens idea, what they're basically programming the young Britons with. And indeed the young white ones, and it's the same in America and all over the Western countries. They're basically on this brainwashing with drag queens. And if you know Newcastle place, they've just opened 2 new bloody drag queen bars. I mean, they always had drag things like what do you call it, Danny LaRue, and they had acts like that, but they were seen as comedy type thing in clubs and all that. They always had them, because obviously it's Masonic. But what they're doing now is they're really bringing that up, and the comedy element is basically being set aside as in to say, like, you look at these people that look ridiculous, and they're sort of, they're playing up to it in a different manner, so it's not about taking the piss out of them, it's about, just making them more accepted, it's like that Ronnie thing, that Ronnie thing. Again, it's sort of like coming from obviously the Indian type idea, in Hindu and Muslim, because obviously Muslim idea could be anybody under one of those, them burqa things, obviously there's a one for it, these characters come out of what's it called, Hijra in India, in the Hindustani idea, and then, like I say in the Muslim one, you could have out under there, no doubt there is. Of course, that's the one that won the Eurovision Song Contest. It's of course a Jesus idea, so again, you're talking about some form of Indian idea there, right? Thomas Neumann was called, Neumann, so again, brave new word, right? Neumann. Really, this is coming massive now, It always existed like as a sort of working men's clubs idea, where, which is strange enough, right? But it was existed in a comedy way, like take the piss, have a laugh at them and all that. But now it's becoming something a bit more different, where it's like, like older ones used to slap on some makeup and that. Now, obviously, they're trying to look as what do you call it, flamboyant as possible or something. And of course, all the TV shows and everything coming about. It always existed, like DMed, Hinge and Brackett, Danny LaRue. But in this way, what they're doing now, see, it's just massive type of thing, which is obviously a bit strange, like, you know what I mean? Like this, you know what I mean? The job has become very competitive in India, And really taking off as something here, And like I said, that basically the brainwashing for the young white ones is all to do with this, all to do with it. So obviously the plan is, right, that to get all the white ones to be gone in for this type of thing, right? And then the Indian ones are going to repopulate, right? Repopulate the white lands. It's already happening. Bradford and Sheffield and Newcastle and East London and all that, So it's coming from India, it comes from India, and they're using it against the young white, the European peoples. Crazy. I was watching this video, right? It's about Commercial Road in London. Used to break a business here, a place called Commercial Road, right? And it's in between the two of them housing estate things, right? And it's all Bengali, it's all, obviously Pakistani or Indian or whatever. Entire place. So again, this Bengali one becomes another slight difference, where you've got Pakistan, India, Bengali, Bangladeshis, but essentially, they're all the same people, It is a takeaway, It's all planned out, that's how your government is working for, The entire place, right? Say in the 1960s, this place was like obviously all white, Britishers, Commercial Road, it was full of sort of, businesses and little factories and all that. And of course now, just every single one of them is a Bengali or whatever, No whites whatsoever, The entire housing, what do you call it, housing, that might have been a white, like, 1 out of a million or something. The entire of these housing estate things, it's just, what do you call it, Bengali, Indians. Crazy. So, it's planned out. 100% planned out. This is what the European Union is going to bring about. This was the intentions of European Union, see. Again, like I said about that thing, where they're focusing on the idea of the whites interbreeding with the African peoples, right? That's again, it's a distraction. Now this is what it's all about: Indian communities being built, right? That's the European Union. That's what it was for, like. And then eventually, your pretty whites is going to be eliminated, extincted, just over by what you would call natural cause or unnatural cause, just the reality, will just come about. And basically, right, you got Noah's Ark, right, which is obviously, the Bible, right? We've obviously got that idea about animals went in 2 by 2.